Hey everyone, and welcome back. So I have an amazing announcement for today. Which obviously I had to sit down and do a video. In fact, a video just on this one announcement. That is indeed, after all this time, we're actually getting Fright Night in 4K, due out October 4th. And obviously, as you guys, at least most of you know, Fright Night is one of my favorite horror films. It's probably my favorite vampire film. I've been talking about a 4K release now for how many years? 2, 3? I think 3. Definitely 2, possibly 3. And now it is finally happening. It's coming directly from Sony, which is actually really good. Sony's transfers are always amazing. They really know how to do a transfer and not mess it up by adding like noise reduction or anything like that. They're very, very careful about the presentations. It's actually going to be a 3-disc set. It's going to have a 4K disc and 2 Blu-rays. And this thing is just packed. So let's just dive right into it. So first off, the 4K disc is going to have obviously the new transfer. It's a feature scan from the original camera negative presented in 4K with Dolby Vision. And it's going to have a brand new Dolby Atmos track, which is really great, as well as the 5.1 surround track, which I believe has been around for several years. And then the really, really good news, it is also going to have the original theatrical stereo mix, which again is what we should have on every release. You know, every movie anywhere release should always have as an option the original theatrical mix. And honestly, Sony is probably one of the few studios, of the major studios, that does that. You know, the other ones it's like hit and miss, and most of them don't, which I really don't understand, because I mean, every film should always have, even just from a sort of catalog standpoint, that it should have you know, restored version of the original theatrical mix. I love new mixes, don't get me wrong, and a lot of films actually really sound fantastic, but the original mix should always be included. So kudos to Sony for once again including the original stereo mix along with a brand new Dolby Atmos track. And the included Blu-ray is going to have the 4K transfer on it as well as a 5.1 and the stereo mix, but I don't believe it's actually going to have the Dolby Atmos track. That's the only thing I'm not 100% sure on. I don't have the press release, so I don't know how many of these are. I mean, I assume most of this is pretty much accurate, but just as a heads up, I don't know yet if the Blu-ray is going to have the Dolby Atmos track or not. Now, it is porting over all the extras that were on the previous Blu-ray release, which is fantastic. All the commentary tracks, the interviews, as well as the You're So Cool Brewster documentary, which is fantastic. Now, it is the same one that was on the previous release, not the standalone version of that documentary, which is like 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, which it talks about not only the first film, but the Part 2, Fright Night Part 2, as well as a little bit on the remake. So the one that was on the previous Blu-ray, that I believe is probably the one on this one as well, is the edited version of, so it just talks about the first film. Now, there's still like a really long documentary, and luckily none of that is edited out. So it's still cool that that is included. But as far as the new stuff goes, so let's just dive right in. So it's going to have deleted scene storyboards. Tom Holland guides us through the film's only deleted scene using his personal pre-production storyboards. Holland beta spec trailer with an introduction by Tom Holland, the never before seen alternate trailer cut by Fright Night editor Kent Beta with the guidance and narration of Tom Holland. And again, ports over previous extras, including the commentary track with director Tom Holland, actors Chris Sarandon and Jonathan Stark, moderated by filmmaker Tim Sullivan. Commentary with director Tom Holland, actors William Ragsdale and Stephen Jeffries, and FX artist Randall Cook, moderated by journalist Jeremy Smith and filmmaker Tim Sullivan. And again, the You're So Cool Brewster documentary, as well as What is Fright Night, Tom Holland writing horror, as well as the theatrical trailers. And it comes with an extra Blu-ray that has a whole bunch of extras, again, including some previous release ones and a lot of new ones, including a new 35th anniversary script read. Next up is The Queer Lens, Brian Fuller in conversation with Amanda Bears. A novel approach, the splatterpunk story of the Fright Night novelization. A special effects storyboard comparisons, a selection of original storyboards with key effect sequences compared with their final filmed versions. And then some previous extras again, including Roddy McDowell from Eights to Bats, Tom Holland and Amanda Bears talk Fright Night, Roundtable with Tom, Stephen, and William. Shock to Drop presents Choice Cuts with Tom Holland and Ryan Turek. First ever Fright Night reunion panel from Fright Fest 2 from 2008. Weekend of Hell panel with Amanda and Steven. as well as a vintage EPK with behind-the-scenes raw footage. And this is a steelbook release. Now, it's a limited edition steelbook, but I mean, I think they're actually making a lot of copies. I don't know the retail price as of this recording. If it has been announced before I finish editing this video, here's the price right here. If I have to guess, it's probably going to be retail price probably 40 to 50. But you know, I think by the time release, I would be surprised if it drops to, you know, plus minus around 30. And I love that they're using the original poster artwork on it. It looks so great. So yeah, I'm so happy that this is obviously finally coming to 4K. I've kind of waited how long now for this release. So definitely a very exciting day for me. Now I usually get questions, you know, whenever I talk about Fright Night. What about Fright Night Part 2? I don't know. Fright Night Part 2 has always had rights issues that have gone back for a long time. Now, Fright Night Part 2, I know he did get tied up in some legal issues for the longest time, but I believe more or less the rights are currently, I believe, with Lionsgate. Now, it's possible that Lionsgate may end up releasing it once any legal ties have been cleared up, and maybe they'll do a part of their restaurant line. I don't know. Hopefully, they'll license it out, though, if they don't really have any intentions of doing anything with it, because that would be fantastic. Obviously, that's one that's long overdue for a new release as well. Long overdue. Jeez. But obviously, I had to get this news out. For Fright Night, again, coming this October 4th. So let me know your thoughts on this announcement. And keep an eye out for some upcoming videos. Actually get ready to do a couple of guys of pickups video to do. And finally, long overdue, the Q&A video is in the works, as well as a couple other ones that I'm working on the script for as well. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.